Well, welcome everybody to Inspired Conversations podcast show with Kim Evans. I am so excited that you are here. This is December, and welcome to my new holiday series, Momentum. And I am the host for the December podcast series. Normally, I do love to bring guests on, but I thought to do something different as we only have like 20 days left into the end of the month, and I wanted to help my lady bosses to get to that end point. So listen, this is Kim Evans, and I'm so glad that you are here. So welcome. I am Kim Evans. I am the proud owner of Two Gorgeous Integrated Health and Wellness. I own a facial spa, which is located in Lafayette, California, for 26 years, the San Francisco Bay Area, for those of you who do not live in California. I'm also a holistic and business wellness coach for KME Coaching, and I'm also the founder of the Look Good, Feel Great program, which I have taught my very own program to middle and high school students on how to be well, look well, and to adjust. It has just been so phenomenal. I was able to work in school district for over like 5 years, and that was an extension of what I do in the Two Gorgeous Wellness facility. And it's just been amazing. So now we have pivoted and we are expanding our knowledge into our podcast show. And this is our second season. So welcome. So what I have for you is called Momentum. I decided to put together actually 7-pillar podcast. It was 6, but I added one more. And what we're going to do, I'm going to drop a podcast every single day. So for those of you who want to get it, actually, you can just drop a yes in the comments below, and I can send you a link on how you can actually get the whole podcast series. It's going to be just phenomenal and very life-changing. So let me quickly go over the 7 pillars that we're going to talk about. Is Queen Conscious High Level Thinking, which I'm going to kick that off tonight. Holiday Lady Boss Nutrition Lifestyle, how to really be healthy and fit and fabulous and have a diet to help to get you through these next 20 days in the holidays so you're not so much stuck as you cross over to January 1. Power Glam Camera Ready Makeup. I'm a professional makeup artist of over 35 years, so I'm actually going to uncover and share with you some of those secrets that we makeup artists use to help you to look your fabulous best on camera. Sexy paydays in your business. I want to share some information, business owners, on how you can begin to think about having sexy paydays in 2023. Magnetic. Become the sauce, because ladies, you are the sauce. How you can be magnetic and how you can show up big, bold, and proud in every single area of your life. We're going to talk about that. Your spiritual solitude and mindfulness. A queen knows how to pull herself back. A queen knows how to give herself time from all the noise so that she can get a download from among high. So we're going to talk about that. I'm excited. And practice mindfulness. Some of you do, some of you don't. So I will be sharing that. And then we're going to end the podcast with Momentum Vision 2023. So welcome and happy Sunday. And welcome to my podcast, Momentum. So today we're going to be talking about Queen Conscious High Level Thinking. But before we get into that, y'all know what I love to do. So let me send a blessing out to you today. Happy holidays and a joyous occasion in the season as we go through the holiday. But what I want to even more importantly, let's invite the Holy One is, because he is the reason for the season, right? So I just want to let's call in the universe. Let's call into the force. Let's call in God into this podcast show. And God, have your way. Have your way, Lord. Have your way in my podcast show. And everyone who's listening to my voice, as far as the west, as far as the east, as far as the north, as far as the south, and amongst all the continents, may you actually hear one gem or two, or a nugget. Maybe it's an affirmation. Maybe you become transformed. Maybe you become inspired. May you illuminate it. May you be excited. Whatever the case may be, may it set forth a deep root from the words that are coming from my mouth. God, I just thank you, have full rank, and thank you because without you and without your voice, I'm nothing. So welcome to the show. Queen conscious, high level thinking. Let's get right into it. So let me ask you, ladies, is your life right now set up to win? Is your life right now set up to win? Is your life right now set up to win? So let's talk about having a queen conscious, high level thinking mentality. We're going to get right into this and we're going to get this. We're going to keep this quick. I'm going to drop you some Kim gems. I'm going to try to keep this under 30 minutes. Let me get my timer out so I can kind of see where we are so that I can keep the time, because I do not want to keep you past a certain level of time. So let's talk about queen conscious. Number one, high level conscious thinking of a queen. How to manufacture your own happiness. A high level thinking queen knows how to manufacture her own happiness. She takes responsibility for her own happiness. And is someone challenging her peace, a queen eliminates them. Oh man, Kim, you hard. No, I'm not hard. It's true. It's true. It's true. For those of you who don't know, I was raised by my dad, and then he married. We had a blended family. My dad is still with us today, and he is just one of the most wisest men on the face of the planet, next to my late grandfather. And I remember when I went to my dad one day, and I was young, I was in college, and and I was just like, oh God, I mean, I was like, Dad, men don't take me out, or I want to go on trips, and I want to do this, and I want to have these fancy things and things like that, and go on these nice specific dinners. And I was seeing other women and other young ladies doing these things. And my dad told me, he said, Kim, buy your own dinner. I said, Dad, but I would love for a man to buy me dinner. No, buy your own dinner. Well, Dad, I'd like to go on a trip, because my dad worked for United Airlines. He retired from United Airlines. I says, well, Dad, I'd love for a man to take me on a trip. Take your own self on your own trip. Well, Dad, I like to go shopping, and I like to get from perfume and all those fancy things that I see all my other friends that are. Buy your own clothes and buy your own perfume. I'm like, you're really being kind of hard. No, I'm not being hard. I says, well, I want to be in a relationship, but with someone. Well, be in a relationship with yourself and be happy with yourself. Learn to manufacture your own happiness. I said, well, Dad, you're being really kind of hard. I said, because, people make you happy. He said, oh, no, honey, people do not make you happy. You have to manufacture you happy. You bring your happy to the party. You bring your happy to the relationship. You're the sprinkles on the cake, not the man. You are. And when you learn that, you'll become more focused in your life. Because I was wavering, It's so wonderful to be raised by a man. I mean, I'm like, no, but Dad, you're really hurting my feelings. What's going on here? It's not about hurting your feelings. It's about the truth. You need to manufacture your own happiness. And the quicker that you learn that, you'll become more sound-minded. I said, but Dad, but that's not really fair. My dad used to always tell me, excuse me for the light. My dad used to always tell me this: life ain't fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. I said, wow, why are you so mean? Why are you so hard? I'm not being mean. I'm not being hard. I'm your best coach. Go get you some happy, manufacture that, learn how to manufacture that, and you're going to be all right. I said, oh my goodness. This is the kind of learning, the hardcore learning that I had to go through as a young girl when I was growing up. But when I look back, I thank my dad for that. So number one, a queen with high level thinking takes responsibility for her own happiness. A queen manufactures her own happiness. A queen, when someone actually is compromising or challenging her peace, she eliminates them. All right, let's get to the next one. Because see, one of the most powerful spirit of a woman, or that a woman has, is her happiness. Yeah, I did like that. It's her happiness. It's her spirit. It is her greatest feminine energy. When that woman walks into a room and she's happy, everybody can see it. Even all the demons of hell can see that. that she happy. And can't nobody take that away from you. And that's what we're talking about today. High level queen conscious thinking. Momentum as we get through 2022, crossing over to 2023. Your feminine energy is the greatest attraction to masculine energy when he sees that you have this secure happiness within your spirit. And it's so beautiful because a man can see it 1,000 miles away. A man can see, and depending upon where he is in his energy, either he's going to feed on your insecurity or he's going to feed on your security, one or the other. In determines the kind of man you're going to get, I guess. But my point is, queens, my lady bosses, manufacture your own happiness. All right, let's get to the next one. I got a lot of juicy stuff that I want to get through really, really fast. So I took some notes. Oh my God, this is really going to be good. Feminine energy is so aligned with your happiness. Do not allow anyone to take you off of your track of manufacturing your inner body wisdom of happiness. You control that. No one else can control that. And sometimes, here's the thing. People may confuse women that are heavily burdened with masculine activity. Maybe they're head of household, maybe they're head of taking care of their families, maybe they are head of all the financial burden. And they confuse that with them being so masculine, but they're really not, because that's all that they have to deal with at that moment. There's no one on the other side counterbalancing that. So they're taking the brunt of everything in their life. And when a woman has to handle everything in her life, she's handling the masculine part of her and she's handling the feminine part of her. But we weren't wired and made that way. We weren't wired and made that way. So let's get to the next point. Authentic happiness from a woman actually is manufactured within herself. So I just wanted to mention that. So here's the deal. Ladies, no man or having children or fashion or cliquish or hanging out in the club or a job, gaining weight or losing weight or however much money, having so many friends, having all the clothes and the riches in your closet, that doesn't give you secure happiness. Those are temporary things, y'all. Those are temporary things. Those things don't bring you happiness. Your internal happiness comes from your manufactured spirit. That's where your peace and your serenity and your happiness comes from. So now when I reflect back what my father told me that 20 some odd years ago, the light is on and bright and it has not turned off. I actually now got what he was saying 20 some years ago. And no one ever would ever take that away from me. So those kinds of things are not going to make you happy. You have to self-manufacture yourself. But let me just say this before I get to my other 7 points. I was listening to one of my spiritual coaches, TD Jakes, and I was so excited. And he was talking about a particular message, but I'm going to give you the 1 second version of it. When Jesus was actually feeding he took the 5 loaves. He took the 5 loaves, it's in the Bible. I don't have to go through the book and chapter. I'm not going to go through all that. I'm just going to give you a synopsis of what it was. He took the 5 loaves and he broke it, right? And he gave it. It was 5,000 in the audience, including women and men. It was 5,000 people in attendance. So he took 5 loaves of fish and broke it, blessed it, and fed it to 5,000 people. Now you tell me how you get 5 loaves and you feed it to 5,000 people. But my point is this. We're talking about manufactured happiness. Until you have been broken, until you have been blessed, until God actually sends you out to be a blessing to others, you're still going to be into this whining of confusion. So let me tell you this. When you see a queen consciousness, listen to what I'm saying. A woman who can self-manufacture her own happiness is a woman who has been broken. She's been broken. And then God now blesses the brokenness, all those broken pieces, to where now she has been made whole. And then God takes that whole and now says, now, my child, I can send forth you out into the earth realm and be a blessing to other people. So when you look at how he did that, there was strategy behind it. Let's look at the strategy. God was the perfect marketing strategist. If you ever want to look at marketing, you don't need to look at Tony Robbins, honey. He created Tony Robbins. But if you ever want to look at marketing, go back to the Bible and look at it and see the pillars of it. Dissect the marketing behind it. I said, wait a minute, hold up. He took 5 loaves and he broke that. That was strategy. And then he marketed that. Then he took it. And so what he did was he broke it down. So he broke it. He broke it down. And then he said, he blessed it, multiplied it, and then he gave it out. It's like, oh my Lord, this is so fantastic. You mean to tell me, God, that here is my happiness, when you have been broken, and then you ask for the Father to bless you, and then now, my God, you can be a blessing to other people. That's how that works. That's the strategy. That is the strategy. Let's move on. Queens manufacture their own happiness from the inside out. That your happiness is authentic. That's how you know when someone's happiness or queen's happiness is inauthentic. So even the lights are out, they still happy. Even when they at their low, they still happy. Even when they don't have nothing, but most queens always gonna make sure they got something. They're happy. They manufacture their own happiness. And even when they are low, they know the will to go to get them to be more, to get them to actually to draw more and to make them high again when they're low. And that's going and calling upon God. I think that's wonderful. Oh my God. Okay, let's get to the next one. Let's get to the next one. Let's get to the next one. A queen conscious woman feels safe. She's happy. She feels safe. She feels provided for. She feels valued. And she feels desirable. So let's repeat it. A queen conscious woman who's happy. She feels safe. She feels provided for. She feels valued. And she feels desired. With or without a mate, we are in the holidays, and it can bring upon a most depressed emotion for a lot of people. So the holidays can be very depressing, or it can be very uplifting. It's either or. There's a condition that comes within the holidays. It escapes me at this moment. I could Google it, but there's a condition that comes automatically when the season comes. It makes people depressed, or people can be very uplifted. A lot of things have gone on, a lot of energetic change. A lot of people have experienced a lot of past, a lot of family losses and things of those nature. So you're kind of kilter either or. So it can be very emotional. It can be very volatile volatile for the holidays. But what I'm trying to say is that when you look at queen conscious, high thinking women, that they have learned to make themselves feel safe. They have learned to make themselves, they provide for themselves. They have learned for themselves to be valued. They have learned from themselves to be desirable. So you're not looking for a man to do it for you. So when he comes along, then he becomes sprinkled on top. That's fine, but you're not looking for a man to do that, because you self-manufacture those qualities and you foster and you nurture those characteristics within yourself. All right, let's get to the next point, because we got to move on. I got a lot. So a queen conscious, high level thinking woman sets herself up in the framework, and this is fantastic. She begins to see what she sees in the mirror she likes. Oftentimes, a lot of women get caught up what they see in the mirror they don't like. So then they have this kind of attitude about themselves, this reflection, this deficit, and they go amongst themselves, and they're feeling depressed about themselves because they're not liking what they see in the mirror. So my next point is that queen conscious, high thinking women, when they see themselves in the mirror, they like what they see. All right, let's take a breath in. We're gonna breathe in love And we're going to exhale, feel on that one. Okay. What I'm saying here is that learn to like yourself in the mirror. And so what that means is you need to see what you see in the mirror coming back at you, that you love it. So when you see yourself in the mirror, you say, I love myself. When you see yourself in the mirror, say, girl, you are beautiful. Listen to Mary J. Blige. She got a song out and she says, goes like this. Hello, gorgeous. Every morning it says, hello, gorgeous. Pandora that. Hello, gorgeous. Her song is hello, gorgeous. Every morning. Say hello, gorgeous. I tell myself I'm sexy, fit, and fabulous. The men that I allow myself to date, I says, I am a sexy chick in demand. Get it straight. Don't wait real late to be calling me because I have things going on. I am a sexy chick in demand. Whatever call yourself self-fierce, whatever it is, learn to love yourself. Look in the mirror and love what you see. And you don't love what you see, then you want to change it. And that's called self-image. We're going to get to the next one. And when you get into self-image, please don't change yourself because of him, her, them, or they, or them, or a job to change you. No, you want to be able to change yourself or to enhance your assets for yourself. Then it becomes permanent. I love it. Are you getting what I'm putting down? Queen conscious, high level thinking. All right, let's move on because I got some other points that I want to share with you. That is just so amazing. But we got to talk about body image because this is the thing that hits women the hardest. Oh my God, I don't like my rose. Oh, I don't like my crow's feet. Oh, I don't like my hair. Oh, I don't like my looks. Or I don't like my skin. Or I don't like my throat. Or I don't like my neck. Shut up. I had just got this skit. It's so funny. I sent it to my aunt the other day, and she was murmuring, complaining about a lot of things. And we sometimes, women, I know. And I said, I'm going to send you this skit. And I think it was Newhart. And in there was about a woman who was complaining. And she goes to the psychologist and she's murmuring, complaining about a lot of things. And he sits her down and says, okay, I have a solution for you. And it's going to be 2 words. And she's, getting her notepad out. It's like, oh my God, you're going to give me the miracle and everything. Oh my God, I got the solution or how I'm going to fix my problem, my neurosis, my psychosis, what's going on. Oh my God, I'm just so excited. I'm about to write this down. He says, okay, get your pen out. And he says, stop it. But the way that I told my aunt, I had her rolling on the phone. It was so funny. And sometimes you need to stop the cycle of the voice of what you're telling yourself. Ladies, you are a queen. Stop it. I want you to love what you see. Love your handles. Love your rose. Love your tummy. Love your breasts. Love these expression lines. You have stripes and bars and wisdom, and you have gone through some light to get 1 or 2 right here. You deserve it. Come on. Gray hair, go color it. Love it. Everything on your body, you need to love it. Okay, I have a sideways segue. I may take you to New Zealand, but I'm gonna bring it back to New Zealand. I may take you to New Zealand, but I'm gonna bring it back to Australia, and this is it. You have those mental, emotional sins, and then you have the spiritual sins. But check this out. Check this out. God hates murmuring and complaining amongst anything. Go back and read it in James. He hates it. So those are those very little details. So sometimes we don't think about when we murmur and we complain about ourselves and those unforgiveness sins. Those are worse than any kind of sin that you can actually do in the natural. Those are worse. Spiritual sins. It's like, really? It's like you don't appreciate yourself. You're practicing unforgiveness. You saying you're not worthy. You're saying you're not valued. Come on now. Those are spiritual sins. Y'all, come on. No. So let's flip it. Let's flip it real quick and say, you know what? It may be hard. I may not see it, but God, show me. Take my beauty for ashes. Take ashes for my beauty. Just say, you know what? Show me these scars and make them beautiful to me. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you are a queen. You rise above. You high above. You're not below. There's nothing missing. There's nothing lacking. There's nothing broken. You're beautiful. And whoever you are with, if they don't like it, you need to dismiss them and set them. There's the door. You can go. I remember I dated a guy who was years, Uber years ago. And it was so funny. He said, your shade is not the way that I want it to be. I said, excuse me. One was the shade, because he was into certain shades of color. And then another one, you're not a size one like a Jada Pickett. I said, dude, you got to go. Because I love all of this. And if you can't handle all or love all of this, you definitely not the one. He's still single today. So anyway, okay, all right, let's move on. So I want you to begin whatever you see in the mirror, that you love everything in there. And if you have not caught up with that confidence level, ask God to help you, because you are magnificently and wonderfully made, queen. All right, so here it is. Queens do things and they self-approve themselves because they are beautiful. So I wanted to mention that. So love the way you look, love the way you are. So if you need to lose weight, lose weight. If you need to exercise, exercise. If you need to change your diet, great, get a coach. I love you. There's a book out when I was working on my master's degree, and it's called Health at Any Size, and I love it. Yes, there are certain weight issues and things like that, certain health conditions that might be here at the pike that you really need to deal with. But when you look at yourself, you really need to love yourself and not be so hard judgment on yourself. And if you desire to change certain things, work on a goal to change those things, but love yourself, because that's where your power lies. That's where your happiness lies. Okay. All right. But let's get into, I got some more points that I wanted to share with you. Oh man, here's another one. So queens, high level conscious queens, oh my God, they are in charge of their money. Let's talk about the money, honey. Let's talk about the money. See, women can rest in their feminine energy when they don't have to think about money. When money is not of an issue, then women can be in their feminine energy. When money becomes an energy, then women are actually in their masculine energy. So women by nature, God made it. Go back to him. Our nature is to be taken care of, to be provided for. If you have children, you want your children to be provided for, because no one is coming to save you. Prince Charming is not coming to save you. But women, it's interesting. Don't we feel better when your partner's not, or your home is not in foreclosure or padlock? You got food in your, refrigerator, bills are paid, your clothes, you can shop, you can travel, do those things, your kids are taken care of. But the moment that money comes into play and it becomes an insecurity, women actually, wait a minute, now you messing with my feminine energy. You mess with a woman's feminine energy. Oh my God. So money, actually, the provision allows a woman to rest in her feminine. So a queen, a high value queen conscious thinking woman, actually manages her money well. She manages her money well. So if that is something that you need to tighten up for 2023, let me encourage you to tighten that up, so that you can actually control and be on top of your money at all times. A high level thinking queen, she's on top of her money at all times. She's on top of the money game. This is how she taps into her happiness frequency, when the money is right. When the money is not right, she can't tap into her feminine frequency. So a queen knows when she's looking for a man, she's looking for a suitor that has a similar value system like her own about money. All right. Oh my God. Queens know how to get money for themselves. It's kind of sort of like the Proverbs 31 woman. That's another resource that you can go back and read, the Proverbs 31 woman. So when a man comes along, you actually should be approving him. You approve him based on your norms and your values, and you make sure that his norms and his values consistent about yours. So it's like having the same values. And I think sometimes women forget that because they look at other things when the man comes along, but that's the number one you need to be looking at. What values are similar? Do you share the same like values as it relates to money? All right. That's the Proverbs 31 woman. That's the Proverbs 31 woman. She got her own. She knows how to make it. She knows how to make her own resources. So in 2023, my question to you, how are you gathering? How are you cultivating? How are you fostering? How are you creating new resources for yourself? So you do not have to depend on anyone else but yourself. Now, when he comes along, it's an added benefit. And then the both of you, you have yours, he have his. Now you can build a kingdom together. Okay. Money answers all kinds of benefits. It prevents stress, unwarranted trauma. So in 2023, how are you going to create your wealth for yourself, my lady bosses? Because queens have a business already formula on how they're going to do that. That's how queens work. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. I have a few more tips I want to share with you because this is really, really, really good, really good, really good. So when we get into relationships, yeah, men need certain things. Men need sex. Men need certain things. Women need money, honey. That's just the way it goes. I'm just gonna break it down. Men need sex. Women need money, honey. I mean, so you have these things. We could balance it out. You could be in your masculine. I could be in my feminine, and we could work it out. That's just the way it is. Call it what it is. It really is. A woman needs to be in her feminine. And these are the things when a man comes into a relationship, the things that we need to be provided for. Just go ahead on and just call it real. Just stop playing. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Yes. Oh my God. We're talking about happiness frequency here. Those of you who are coming on, we're talking about high level queen consciousness, how to manufacture your own happiness. And this is how women stay in tune with their own happiness, is because they're in control of their money. They know exactly how to manufacture it, how to get it, and certain kind of resources. That's what queens do. Oh my God, she's balanced in her life. She knows how to balance her life. She's not really on the left. She's not really on the right, but she knows how to center her word. That's what queens do. High level thinking, you know how to balance. You shut it off. You're not always over here. You're not always over there, but you stay balanced, mentally balanced. Your hormones are balanced. Your testosterone and your estrogen, y'all balanced. Queen conscious, high level thinking, your emotions are balanced. Your hormones are balanced. And if they're not, you come up with a solution on how to balance it. I'm just saying. I have a few more points. Let me and we're going to close out the podcast because I said I didn't want to be long. Oh, happiness is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful value. And let me say this other one that I wanted to say too. Wow. We talk about the resources and where we are right now in our lives. This is why, as a business coach, I'm always encouraging women. It's like, what is your next? Establishing what can you do to cultivate your own wealth consciousness so that money will never be an issue. It will never be a strain. You will never have to depend on someone else. You know, sometimes women can get into these kinds of shenanigans and gymnastics, and you don't want to be in a relationship with someone and they're not valuing you just because they're supporting you, or you're just there for them so that they can help you with your bills. That's not mentally healthy. So how can you make the decision to establish your own resources so that you can grow your own wealth? So think about that in 2022. This is just a question. This is just a question that I'm asking so that you can always be in position to have your own monetary resources as we move forward. You can only maintain your happiness when money is not an issue and that you can provide for yourself. And again, if a man is or come in to the formula of that, that just becomes an added benefit. But it's so beautiful. It looks so good when a woman has her own and she's doing her own thing and she's happy with herself. She's carrying her own spirit. She becomes magnetic. She has her own life. She's fulfilling. She's balance. She brings sauce, to the formula. And a man, he sees that. A man sees that and they love that. They yearn from that. And the two of you, if he comes from a healthy place, you come from a healthy place, you guys get together, you guys two peas in a pod. That's how you make it work. All right, let's get to the next one. Okay, let's get to the next one. Okay, all right. This is another one. I'm just gonna say this and we're gonna move past the money. A high-level queen conscious woman never settles on being broke. She just never settles on being broke. Mentally, she never settles on break. That don't make her happy. That doesn't make the queen happy by being broke. And nothing comes out of that when a woman is felt or is suffering or in this kind of a broken mentality. Sometimes it's just a broken consciousness. Sometimes it's just a broken energy. That's just as worse as being financially broken, is when you have a broken consciousness. That 2 and 2 don't make 4. Okay, I'm just bringing it up. I'm just bringing it up. Let's move on. We're talking about high level thinking. Queens have a high level thinking consciousness. And I hope you guys are getting what I'm putting down. Oh God. Let's see. Let's get to the next one. Oh my God. This one is so beautiful. A high level thinking queen knows how to clear her mind. And she doesn't subject her mind to the thoughts of other people. Oh my God. Okay, let's take a breath of that. Oh man, that was real good. Kim, that was so good. Yes, let me repeat it. That a high level queen thinking vibration woman, number one, know how to clear her mind of thoughts. And she doesn't subject herself to other people's thoughts about her. Oh, man, it took me a while to get through this. Then, you reach this point in your life in your 20s and your 30s, like, well, what do you think? Well, what do you think? Well, what should I do? Well, what should I do? Well, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? Well, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Well, what about if I do this? What if I do that? Queen, hand down. Go read the 48 laws of power. A queen be like, look, I'm making my announcement. I'm making announcements. Queens make announcements and declarations, and I'm not asking for your opinion. There are times I might speak something to a few of my friends that I may say, and then they come back with an opinion or something, and I'm like, I didn't ask you my, but Kim, your hair is this, or your lipstick was this, or oh my God, your last podcast, or whatever. They may say something. It's like, I did not ask you your opinion. I am just announcing. There's a difference when I make an announcement and when I make a declaration. Queen makes declarations and announcements. I just want you to witness what I just said. I didn't ask you your opinion. And even in relationships, man, this is a segue sidebar. Women just want you to listen. Queens just want you to sit down and say, honey, I had a long day. This is what happened to me on the job today, or this is what happened in my business, or I've had this kind of situation that I got to handle, and I'm thinking of doing this or going left or doing this and doing right. I'm just thinking about this, and I think I might do this. Some men, here we are, captain save a wife, is they're like trying to give you solutions. Like, I didn't ask you for a solution. I just wanted you to listen to what I have to say. That's why psychologists and psychiatrists are so popular. They sit on the couch and they just listen, and they say, really? Wow. Tell me more about that. How did that make you feel? So what action are you going to put in place? Oh, okay. Well, then what solution? You'll come back and you throw it back at them. Well, I haven't thought about that. I haven't thought about a coping strategy or a coping mechanism. And then they'll give you a coping strategy or a mechanism to help you to get through what you just said to them, right? So the same thing with people. It's like queens is just like, I am just sharing with you. I am making a proclamation. I'm making a declaration. I didn't ask you for your opinion. They don't ask for your opinion. They make declarations and proclamations. So my point is, queens know how to clear their minds, and they really are not self-directed. They don't care what other people think. When you reach a point in your life when you don't care what other people think, now if you're married, that's different. you are going to care what they think. Of course, that's different. But if you're single, even if you're single, but if you're married, most queens, it's just like, hey, I'm running with it. You're not going to care what the people, you're not going to be reading DMs. You're not going to be reading comments and things like that. You're like, hey, okay, I'm doing this. This is my goal. This is my next event. This is what I'm having over here. This is why I pay a coach. This is why I do this. This is why I have my financial advisor. I didn't ask your opinion. Watch high level thinking vibe women. They're not asking your opinion. They're moving amongst the earth, and they just doing what they need to do. They're getting their download from God. So I just wanted to mention that. They kind of like get this check in their spirit, and it's just like, this is why they have to clear their minds. They clear their minds of clutter. They know not how to put so much in their inbox. They keep their inbox at a certain level so they're not overloaded. Because once you become overloaded, and then you can't think so clearly, high level queens know how to clear their inbox. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Because I'm going to end with this one right here. And this is really good. We're going to wrap this up in 30 minutes. We're talking about high vibe minded thinking queens, actually, how to manufacture your own happiness. Oh God, they keep the momentum in the flow. They keep their own momentum in their flow. It's like their own internal dance. They keep their own momentum in their flow. You know how certain women, that when you get around them, they just have this energy about them, this whole magnetic about them. It's not like the fact that they're always up, but it's a certain vibe about them. It's just like, woo, and it's like, you have those energy vampires that just, no matter what, they're going to drain you, whether they on the positive or the negative, they're always going to be around you. And then there's certain people that they just like to be in your embodiment. It's just like, because they like the energy that you're getting up. So, a high value queen is always in her own manufactured energy flow, and she draws people into that. It is just amazing. And even when she has hit rock bottom, and if she at the bottom of the well, she knows exactly the source that she needs to go to draw upon that well and bring it back positive. That's the difference. All right, I hope you guys are getting what I'm putting down, because I'm not going to repeat them. You're going to have to go back and replay the reel, but it's really, really, really good. All right. Okay, two more things. Queens manufacture their own self-happiness because they don't break their promises. Oh, that's good. They don't break their promises. Kim, say it one more time. They don't break their own promises, AKA they set boundaries. No is a complete sentence. No, put a period on it. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Kim, say it one more time. No is a complete sentence. High level vibe thinking women who manufacture their own happiness know how to say no. And they know how to write their own boundaries, and they keep their promises. Okay, let me give you an example. You knew you needed, you shouldn't have dated that guy that you went out with. You shouldn't. You had an energy alarm that went off in your belly's wisdom when you went on the first date. And that belly wisdom told you, don't go out with that guy. Let's flip it. It could be the one, it could be the guy too, to the woman. But you knew you shouldn't have went out with Ted, but you went out with Ted anyway. And then one thing led to the next and led to the next. You didn't keep your contract with yourself. You crossed your boundary. And then that's what you got. You knew you shouldn't have accepted that job, but you accepted the job anyway. Or you chose or made a decision that you knew you should not have chosen, or you made anyway. Or you extended yourself more than what you needed to extend yourself to. So you broke your promise to yourself. Go back and read the 21 universal laws. Some people say it's 20 universal laws. Go back and read 20, Google it. And the first law is the law of oneness. Go back and read those laws. It's amazing. God set it up before the earth realm, before we even came into the earth. Read the universal laws. It's amazing. But here it is. Queens do not break their own promises. They keep their promises. So if you have a boundary, don't do not cross it. I remember this one segment I was listening to a Yala Von sent, and she was working with a couple of her clients, and one of them pissed her off. And so in this particular episode, Ayala Von walked off of the episode. She literally just walked off. She says, I'm not handling this because you ain't gonna talk to me this way. She set her boundary. So long story short, they came back and they completed the other 2 episodes. There's like 2 more episodes left. And so this particular person just really act out of character. And what I learned from that, and I watched her, she never came back on the set. And this was live. She actually consulted and coached them from a different room behind the camera. And they kept saying, Ayala, are you good? And the guests was still six guests in there. They're like, Ayala, are you going to come back on the set? You are going to come back. And she said, no. She says, because I will not cross my boundary. Oh my God. See, when you don't cross your boundaries, when you have boundaries set up, the universe respects that. The universe is just looking for what you do. If you ask what you want, it's going to give you what you want. It can't decipher, it's subconscious from unconscious. So, I mean, so she didn't cross her boundaries. It's like, wow, I learned something from that. And, the more conscious I get, the more level up I get. It's like, do not cross your boundaries. Do not break your contract for yourself, AKA. So if you say you're desiring something, this is what you want in a man, this is what you're going to respect in a relationship, this is what you're going to do for yourself, this is how you expect people to treat you, this is the actions, this is how you're going to set your business up, this is a relationship with your clients, the people who you're coaching, when you are in the corporate realm, talking and dealing with your boss, there's a certain levels, and no one are not to cross that level, even in a marriage. You're going to be loving about it. Oh, hold up, babe. I don't like your tone. And so a marriage is a little bit different. We got to give a little bit more grace when we're married. So you'd be like, babe, you got to bring that down, babe. You got to bring that down. I don't like your tone. That's how you normally do it in marriage, right? You're just not going to walk out and like they beating you or something like that. You're not going to be with somebody like that. But I mean, babe, one, whatever it is, whatever your secret number is, babe, we got to bring it down to 4. Whatever you have, Care Bear, whatever you have, you guys got together. We need to bring that back to 2. You're getting up to level 10. Change it. What's going on here? Change the tone. So whatever the case may be, but I'm just saying, let's bring it back. I love this. A queen doesn't break her contract with herself. And guess what? A man will respect that. Because sometimes they'll act a fool just to see if you can break your own contract with yourself. Okay, all right, let's get into it. Okay, we're gonna close it up. Oh my God, I got so many more points that I just wanted. But this is the most important one right here. That a high level vibe, high level queen, a high level thinking minded queen. This is what they do. This is really their MO right here. This is their secret sauce. If you look back to all the oh my God, this queens that are just so powerful, right? They practice solitude, and kings too. They practice solitude. That's powerful. That was worth $1 million right there, and that just went over a lot of people's heads. But they practice solitude, and I'm going to end with this, and I'm going to wish you all a merry, 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 jolly Christmas. In this world of all the interferences and everything that's going on, the news, the Fox News, where we are coming out of what we just came out of the last 3 years, the economics, the economy, God, what's going on in jobs, the layoffs, everything, the real estate market, the interest rate, the high food prices, gas prices, and on and on and on and on. But let's just overlook it. It's an energetic field that's happening as we cross over to 2023. I wrote something on Facebook page too, the year of what 2023 means, but I'm not going to go into it to this podcast, but I'm going to end with this. And thank you so much for watching as we close out under 30 minutes. And I hope you guys have been inspired with this podcast. Oh God, is that how a queen manufactures her own self-happiness. High-level thinking queens knows how to practice solitude. So they break away from the crowd. They know how to manufacture their own self-peace. They don't need fans. They break away. They turn everything off, all interference, all TVs, and they just get in with nature. Whether your thing is a walk in the park with your dog, or whether it is just being on an ocean, being by water, whatever the case is, they know how to close and tune things, situations, circumstances, events, and people out. They just tune you out. And sometimes they may do it once a week, twice a week, but there is a season of consistent time where they tune out the world. And they welcome only the spirit in. And this is how they get a clearing of the mind. This is how that vibration changes and it gets to that higher level of frequency. This is how their vision can get more clear. This is how they get their downloads. This is how they clear their malware. This is how they clean their viruses. This is how they clean their offline. They put their whole world in airplane mode. And so that they can just hear from among God. They be amongst the universe and they go within the nature. They go within the water, they go within fire, they go in all the elements of what they need. They embody the nature. And this is how they then become back one with source. And this is where your power is, queens. When you become one back with source, they practice constant solitude. As we end 2022, I challenge you all to do that. I've done that for the last few years. I'll just shut it down for like the first 3 days, 4 days, 5 days in the new year. No phones, nothing, nada, just no kind of communication whatsoever. And then I've learned to have a consistent practice of it on a weekly basis. You're going to need it in this dispensation of time of where we are right now. High level, high vibe, queens manufacture their own self-happiness with solitude, and they practice mindfulness. I am going to get more into mindfulness. I do have another podcast that I will just specifically be talking about solitude and mindfulness and how to practice it and how to capture it and how to make it a part of your lifestyle, your self-care management. Now, this solitude is the ultimate self-care. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the first series of Momentum, and I am your host, Kim Evans, to Inspired Conversation. If you want to know more about what I do, I offer a complimentary discovery game plan call. I'm going to leave that in the show notes. Please pick a date. I do have some times coming within the next, actually this week and next week, I still have some slots available. Let's have a complimentary call. Or if you are in Lafayette, California, come and join me January 1st for my solo entrepreneur, my business women. I am actually having an in-person live event. It's going to be a business mastery training, unstoppable. It's going to be amazing at the top of the year. And lastly, if you're looking for a business coach, let's have a conversation. The best gift that you can give yourself this holiday is an investment in yourself. And if you're looking to grow your business or your practice, let's have a conversation. Thank you very much for watching. I am Kim Evans. Please share this podcast out, and we got more coming. And thank you for being a part of Momentum, our new holiday series. Bye for now.